Welcome to the Path of Kings. They say perspective is everything, but most men don't realize their perspective toward women is shaped by overstimulation, dopamine addiction, and constant sexual noise. When you step into semen retention, that noise begins to fade. Your mind clears. Your attention sharpens. You stop viewing women through the lens of desperation or fantasy. Instead, you start seeing them with depth, calmness, and emotional clarity. Your aura shifts and your perception evolves with it, giving you a completely new way to interpret feminine energy. The first major change happens in your dopamine system. When you stop draining your energy, the brain stops chasing quick highs. That's when women stop being escapes or distractions. Your perception becomes more grounded. You don't look at every woman with lustful exaggeration. You begin noticing subtle things, her vibe, her presence, how she carries herself. This shift happens because your brain returns to its natural sensitivity, allowing you to see women as humans, not fantasies. Retention elevates your testosterone, and that alone rewires how you view women. High testosterone reduces neediness and increases self-respect. You no longer look at women from a place of lack. Your gaze becomes steady, confident, evaluating. You're not trying to gain approval. You're observing compatibility. This internal fullness is what creates the masculine aura women feel, and what transforms your perspective from, "I hope she likes me," to, "Do we align energetically?" Your posture, breathing, and presence also change. Retention centers your energy in your core, making you physically and mentally grounded. Women often feel grounded men before they even look at them. But more importantly, you start feeling grounded. This groundedness removes the childish, reactive lens men often have toward women. Instead of chasing a fantasy version of femininity, you start perceiving feminine energy with maturity and discernment. Your emotional discipline increases. One of the hidden benefits of retention is emotional mastery. When you aren't controlled by urges, you gain control over reactions. You don't get overly excited by beauty. You don't collapse or freeze in front of feminine energy. You maintain frame. And this new emotional balance allows you to observe women's intentions, patterns, and authenticity in ways you couldn't before. Your aura becomes less reactive. Most men react instantly to female attention, smiles, compliments, eye contact. But retention builds internal stability. Your attention is no longer pulled like a magnet. This makes your perspective more discerning. You stop being impressed by the superficial. You begin valuing personality, femininity, kindness, emotional intelligence. Women feel your calmness, but you feel your clarity. Because your sexual energy is contained, your attraction becomes deliberate. You don't feel the urge to chase anything that moves. You start acknowledging which women give you peace and which drain you. This is a huge shift. Most men cannot differentiate lust from compatibility. On retention, the difference becomes obvious. Your system isn't clouded by overstimulation anymore. Retention increases your intuitive intelligence. You begin to pick up subtle emotional signals, feminine cues, unspoken intentions. This isn't magic, it's your nervous system becoming sharper because your energy isn't leaking. You'll find yourself understanding women more naturally, simply because your mind isn't in a constant fog. This improved intuition also changes how you interpret attraction. You begin to value women for deeper traits. Feminine softness, warmth, humility, and grace become more noticeable to you. These qualities start to matter more than physical curves. You realize that true feminine energy nourishes your masculine energy rather than draining it. And this realization shifts your entire perspective on what type of women you want in your life. Retention also makes you more self-contained. You stop seeking emotional soothing from women. Many men unconsciously seek validation, comfort, or maternal energy from women. But when you hold your seed, you hold your emotional center. You feel complete. This independence changes your perception. You stop expecting women to fix you, and instead you look for mutual growth and resonance. You also become more aware of feminine polarity. On retention, you understand why feminine energy behaves the way it does. You see when a woman is being playful, testing, nurturing, or manipulative. Instead of reacting emotionally, you observe from a position of strength. This deeper understanding makes you see women in a more realistic and grounded way. Your standards rise automatically. When your aura gets stronger, you won't settle for low-quality energy. Women who used to attract you because of physical appeal no longer hold the same power. You look for depth, consciousness, intention. Your perception shifts from lust to longevity. From excitement to alignment. You begin to notice how women respond to your energy differently. Their eye contact lingers, their tone softens, their presence becomes more receptive. But the key part is, you don't get blinded by it. You don't become a slave to attention. You remain centered. This healthy detachment makes you evaluate their energy instead of being overwhelmed by it. Your priorities shift. Instead of chasing validation, you chase purpose. And when purpose becomes your focus, women become companions, not distractions. This changes how you interpret relationships. You start asking, does she help me grow, or does she slow me down? Your perspective becomes mission-driven rather than pleasure-driven. Retention also brings mental quietness. When the mental noise decreases, your perception becomes sharper. You see patterns in feminine behavior that you previously ignored. You understand what type of woman brings chaos and what type brings harmony. And because your aura is grounded, you don't get emotionally entangled easily. You stop pedestalizing women. This is one of the biggest transformations. You start seeing women as equals, not divine beings or impossible fantasies. You respect them, but you don't worship them. This balance comes from hormonal stability and higher self-worth. Your perception becomes realistic, confident, and balanced. You gain the ability to walk away. And that changes everything. When you're able to walk away peacefully, without emotional collapse, your perception of women becomes clearer. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop chasing inconsistent energy. You start valuing yourself more than external attention. Your emotional availability increases. Instead of being numb due to overstimulation, you become emotionally alive. This allows you to perceive women's emotions more clearly. You start noticing genuine feminine affection, sincerity, and care. Emotional cues become more noticeable, helping you understand women on a deeper level. Retention builds a natural sense of protection. Masculine energy becomes more responsible, intentional. And this affects your perception of women. They become individuals you want to protect, not exploit or use. You see relationships as sacred connections rather than entertainment. Your patience increases. Instead of rushing into physical intimacy, you value emotional and energetic compatibility. This patience allows you to see who a woman truly is before committing. This slower pace enhances your perception, making you more aware of red flags, emotional patterns, and alignment. Your intuition sharpens further. You begin sensing a woman's trauma, her emotional maturity, and her intentions. You understand what she seeks in masculine energy. You sense her level of self-awareness. This enhanced emotional radar comes from internal stillness and preserved energy. You start appreciating feminine vulnerability and softness. These qualities feel rare and sacred. Before retention, you may have overlooked such things due to overstimulation. But now, feminine energy feels magnetic and calming. This shift enriches your perception of women dramatically. You become more selective. Instead of reacting to every woman's beauty, you become intentional with your attention. This selective energy transforms your perception. You see beyond looks into her nature, behavior, consistency, and emotional truth. Retention elevates your self-image. When you see yourself as a disciplined, grounded man, your perception of women becomes healthier. You don't chase, you attract. You don't collapse, you evaluate. This inner self-worth makes you approach relationships with clarity and stability. You begin to understand feminine communication, the indirect cues, the emotional expressions, the subtle tests. Instead of getting confused or frustrated, you interpret these things with patience. Your perception becomes more emotionally intelligent. You recognize which women are drawn to your aura for the right reasons, and which ones are attracted for superficial reasons. This awareness protects you from unhealthy dynamics. You begin valuing women who resonate with your purpose and energy. Your purpose becomes the filter. Retention makes your mission your priority. Women who respect your purpose become more attractive to you. Women who try to pull you off your path become less appealing. Your perception becomes aligned with long-term fulfillment, not instant gratification. You start seeing relationships as partnerships rather than escapes. You no longer seek comfort from women, you seek alignment. This alone transforms how you perceive feminine energy. You value support, respect, peace, and emotional maturity more than lust or excitement. Retention teaches you balance. You learn to appreciate feminine beauty without losing yourself. You learn to feel attraction without becoming controlled by it. This balanced perception gives you a richer, healthier understanding of women, one grounded in reality, not fantasy. And finally, retention reveals the truth. A strong aura doesn't just attract women, it helps you see women clearly. You rise above lust, confusion, and emotional dependency. You become a grounded masculine presence with sharp intuition and a powerful sense of purpose. If you want more videos on semen retention, masculine aura, female attraction, and inner transformation, make sure you subscribe right now, King. Your journey is only getting stronger.